To address the issues facing Tennesseans today, from 10 News, this is Inside Tennessee.
Good Sunday morning and welcome to Inside Tennessee. I'm your moderator, John Becker, along with my colleague, John North. We hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And we are, as we do traditionally, devoting this broadcast to local charities. And these are homegrown nonprofits that have a direct impact on the basics for people across East Tennessee. We're talking about food insecurity, medical help, and also education. And we welcome with us this morning Elaine Streno. She's the executive director of Second Harvest Food Bank. Chris Hall is the chief operating officer of Remote Area Medical. And Emmett Thompson, the executive director of Mission of Hope. Great to see all of you, and thank you for making time for us. Elaine, let's start with you because we've heard a lot of news recently on the food front with the supply chain challenges and what that has done for food banks like Second Harvest. Tell us where you stand today about getting the basics for people in need.
Well, it's been a little bit of a challenge. We were able to get turkeys in August to distribute up to Thanksgiving, but we're not going to have any more. We can't get any more for the Christmas holidays. So stuffing, potatoes, turkeys, stuff that we've always wanted in our holiday baskets, we cannot get.
And let's talk a little bit more about that before we move to Emmett and Chris. As far as other essentials, just away from Thanksgiving, are there harder items to get than others right now?
The items haven't been hard to get, but the prices have almost doubled on some of the products. As you know, we really are a distribution center. We distribute food to 600 partners in 18 counties, and it's really been a challenge getting some of the products that we always can get, and then, of course, having to pay so much more for what we were able to get.
And what would you say, give us one example of an item that has gone double or triple what it was a year or so ago?
Well, the potatoes, we would pay $600 for a load, and now it's between $3,000 and $6,000. And again, we haven't been able to get any, but the last time we were able to purchase a tractor-trailer load, that's how much the price had increased on potatoes.
Emmett, for our viewers who aren't familiar with Mission of Hope, give us your 30-second elevator speech, and then let's talk about where you stand today as far as getting things that you need for people in need.
Yeah, thank you, John. Appreciate the opportunity. We're an Appalachian relief ministry based in Knoxville, serving the poorest and distressed counties of rural Appalachia, classified as such by the Appalachian Regional Commission. They're really the granddaddy of tracking poverty in America. We work through schools and what we call mountain ministry centers, and that's how we serve our mission field.
And have there been particular challenges as of late for you because of the supply chain or because of the pandemic?
Well, without being redundant and taking up time, we've had to do everything different. The last 18 months, we've been able to open up more and more. We're still, we live and exist with not only supporters, but the heroes of the hope being volunteers. And at the school end of what we do, we are still not able to go into all the schools that we serve, and we'll not be able to do that again this Christmas. The mountain ministry centers that we serve, the people who have the food pantries, the clothing closets, the furniture ministries that we help their communities, a lot of them without our help would not even be in existence right now. And several of those have been forced to close themselves. So we've tried to do what we can to address the challenges there, helping the people on the front lines help their community.
And Chris, to you, as we set the table here for the rest of our discussion, just a quick reminder for our viewers about Remote Area Medical, founded here in East Tennessee. Stan Brock, the late founder of Remote Area Medical, but your 30-second speech and where you stand as far as challenges in the pandemic.
Yeah, so our mission is to prevent pain and alleviate suffering by providing free quality health care to those in need. We do that by setting up mobile medical, dental, and vision clinics around the community and around the country. We staff those events with volunteers from all around the world, and those volunteers come in and provide the services free of cost to the patients that come and wait in line for the services. Like everyone else, supply chain issues have been a challenge, from everything from personal protective equipment and also increased cost. A box of gloves now is about 5 times the cost of what it was 24 months ago. So seeing those increased costs to be able to provide the free services to the patients.
To all three of you, I guess I'd be curious, because what you've just said is very sobering about you're trying to do the good works that you're so used to doing, and unfortunately, because of various issues, access, supply chain, what have you, you're sort of impeded. What do you do? Are you finding ways to work around this, or are you just thinking we'll just have to get through it in the next coming months? And Elaine, I guess I'd start with you.
Yes, thank you. We are pretty much what you said. We're just going to try to figure out how we get through it. We were able to get hams, so we are going to be able to distribute hams for Christmas. But what we always put together as our holiday meal, we really, as everybody has said, had to figure out how to do it differently, from the distribution of the food itself to different types of product.
This would be the second Christmas that we've gone through this, where our lives have been completely turned upside down. How was it a year ago, Elaine? Were you all in a similar situation with the supplies?
No, we had no supply chain issues back then. We were able to give, back then, a year ago, right? We were able to get what we needed. As everybody has said and will continue to say, when the pandemic hit, demand doubled. It's much better now. It's just fluctuating, but we all have had to figure out how to change every point of distribution we'd ever thought. Through the 18 counties we serve, more mobile pantries, and just coming up with different ways to distribute food.
That's really extraordinary. And Brother Emmett, staying with that thread of thought, access is so important for you all to be able to get out and help those folks. What have you been doing to try to compensate?
You know, John, this is a great question, and ironically, one of the ways we've had to alter things, we've worked with our dear friend Elaine in Second Harvest. So the way we have grown so during the year at non-school times, back to school and Christmas, is we try to go do outreach events in these rural areas with the different mountain ministry centers we help. We will sometimes be in a gym, a church basement, a National Guard armory, and have 600, 700, 800 people coming that we help with resources. I couldn't do that last year. I've not felt comfortable doing it this year, not only for the safety of the people there, but for our volunteer force. So we came up working with a group called Compassion Ministries, and we have worked in tandem with Second Harvest to where we have been blessed financially to buy food, to work with them to do outside giveaways in massive parking lots. In Jamestown, it was actually in a fairground parking lot. And we've helped large numbers by being outside and having the resources to where the people just drove by and our volunteers helped them with the supplies they needed. And we've never done that before, and I love the way that works.
We have to take a quick break in a moment, but Chris, in 30 seconds or so, the clinics for RAM look much different now than they did pre-pandemic.
Absolutely. The whole process had to change. New technology had to be introduced to be able to provide the services. It really changed kind of crowd flow from, like Emmett was saying, the large crowds of 400 or 500 people to now restricting that flow to 20 to 30 patients per hour coming through the front doors.
All right, we'll take a quick break and back with more of our conversation with these three East Tennessee-based charities. More with us right after this.